As war rages on and bombs keep falling, are the much-touted Israel-Hezbollah peace talks little more than political theater for the cameras? With Hezbollah rockets raining in and Israeli missiles pounding back, are once quiet border towns now being turned into full-scale war zones on both sides? As strikes hit clinics and rescue crews, is Beirut right to accuse Israel of committing war crimes against hospitals and the very people trying to save lives? With Red Cross volunteers reportedly hit again and again, are humanitarian workers in Lebanon being turned into deliberate targets on this battlefield? With neither Israel nor Hezbollah willing to back down on the ground, are these new diplomatic peace efforts already doomed before they even begin? Despite intense diplomatic efforts behind closed doors, the war between Israel and Hezbollah is grinding on with no real sign of slowing or stopping. Israeli airstrikes and Hezbollah rocket fire both intensified over the April 10th to 12th weekend, turning large swathes of southern Lebanon and northern Israel into active fronts. The fighting has carried on even after the US-Iran ceasefire, with Israel insisting that any truce with Tehran does not apply to the Lebanon front. Lebanese officials say around 2,055 people have been killed since March 2nd, including about 167 victims in just the raids launched since April 10th. Israel, for its part, reports that Hezbollah attacks over that same period have killed 12 Israeli soldiers and 2 civilians near the northern border. On April 12, heavy Israeli strikes hit dozens of locations, including the key border town of Bint Jbeil, leaving large civilian areas shattered and burning. The I.D.F. claims its jets killed more than 20 Hezbollah fighters who it says were operating from within or around a hospital site used for militant activity. Lebanon has flatly rejected that account, accusing Israel instead of bombing civilians and medical facilities and demanding war crimes investigations. A Red Cross rescuer was killed when a drone strike hit during an ongoing humanitarian mission, raising fresh alarm over aid workers' safety in the field. That incident marked the second time in just a few weeks that a Red Cross volunteer has been killed in the Lebanon war, according to aid groups. Lebanese authorities now say more than 80 rescuers, medics, and health workers have lost their lives since the conflict sharply escalated. The UN peacekeeping mission in Lebanon has accused Israeli tanks of ramming 2 clearly marked UNIFIL vehicles in the south, causing significant damage. The I.D.F. denies deliberately targeting peacekeepers, saying the UN vehicles were in an area where movements had not been properly coordinated with Israeli forces. US, Israeli and Lebanese officials are due in Washington on April 14th for talks that diplomats say could shape the next phase of the Lebanon war. Lebanon has indicated, according to the BBC, that these discussions should first pin down ceasefire terms before any full-blown political negotiations begin. Israel's embassy, however, frames the meetings as the start of broader peace negotiations, not a dedicated truce talk round focused only on ending the fighting. Hezbollah has publicly rejected any direct talks with Israel and instead staged massive street protests in central Beirut to signal its opposition. Lebanese Prime Minister Nawaf Salam insists efforts to end the war are still moving forward, even as the violence on the ground keeps escalating.
During the Civil War, we fought each other, and everyone paid the price. Today, what is required is that we stand together, not against one another, that we fortify our internal front, and prevent discord, the threat of it, or the intimidation of civil war, as if we do not know its cost. I feel the pain of the mother who lost her son combating on the front lines, as I feel the pain of the mother who lost her child who did not choose this war and only wanted to live. I know that all of you are suffering, more than can be tolerated, and for a long time. We will persist in our efforts to end the war, foremost among them the initiative presented by the President, Joseph Aoun, to negotiate a ceasefire and to enable the legitimate state institutions to fully carry out their role in protecting Lebanon and all its people. I call on all of you to hold fast to what unites us, in order to protect our country and the future of our children. Let us face together the dangers surrounding us with reason, unity, and national responsibility.
All this is happening as Israel establishes a buffer zone some 8 to 10 kilometers inside Lebanon, saying it is needed to push Hezbollah's forces farther from the border. On April 12, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared the war will continue as long as needed for Israeli troops to hold that security zone and finish the job.
I am here with the Minister of Defense, the Chief of Staff, the Head of Command, the Division Commander, and our reserve soldiers. There is a wonderful spirit here and a willingness to fight, and they are fighting well. The war continues, including inside the security zone in Lebanon, where I was just a short while ago. What we are seeing is that we have thwarted the invasion threat from Lebanon thanks to the security zone. We are pushing away the danger of anti-tank fire and also dealing with indirect fire. But there is still work to be done. We have done enormous work, tremendous achievements. There is still more to do, and we are doing it. One of the things we are seeing here is that we have essentially changed the face of the Middle East. Our enemies, Iran and the axis of evil, came to destroy us, and now they are simply fighting for their survival. We see this in every arena. This is a tremendous achievement of the State of Israel and the Israel Defense Forces, our regular soldiers and our wonderful reserve soldiers.
Around 1.2 million people, nearly a fifth of Lebanon's population, have now been displaced since the latest phase of the war escalated in early March. Tens of thousands of residents in northern Israel have also been ordered to evacuate or have fled their homes, according to BBC and other international reports.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.